Welcome back to the channel. Today we are playing Jamie Chess, who is actually a long-term viewer of the channel. He's been watching me since I was like 1300 ELO, and he is rated 1776, which I believe is near his peak.
I just wanted to say as well, Apex, I've mentioned it before, is the reason, one of the main reasons that I started my channel in the first place. Watching him play on his road to 2000, and it just seemed so easy. While talking, while playing, it just seemed, okay, I can do this. Anyway, I instantly dropped about 250 ELO, and I thought, oh gosh, maybe I can't do this.
In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the difference between a 1900 rated player, myself, and a 17, roughly 1800, like Jamie. He starts out with c4, the English opening. We're going to go e5, and he's probably pretty prepared against my line, which is the reverse Grand Prix attack.
So I think we're just going to sort of fianchetto like we normally do. Okay, so they're striking back. They really want command of the center. Makes absolute sense. Now, what we're going to do is, like I said, fianchetto, and I think about castling.
And he just develops the bishop. All logical moves. We're going to develop our knight now. And we want to bring the bishop out at some moment. I know there are ideas in this opening when they play stuff like okay, he's playing e3. Now I believe we can play d5 here, and if takes, we have knight b4, and we have to notice this check, but we can simply just like develop the bishop attacking the queen, and luckily our bishop here protects b4. So after d5, I don't know if they can take. But there are moves like this, but I do know the move here is to play d5.
So they do that. Now, I think I'm inclined to just, I think b3 is a move here, although taking is fine as well. And if we take, actually, they take back with the knight, and we've also got two things looking at it. So we're going to start. We're going to get the party started. Obviously, we're attacking their knight as well. So they go back, and they've got two defenders now on it.
And the whole point why this works after takes knight here is because they've weakened this d3 square. And we can potentially play e4 and get the knight here, and it's a very, very powerful square. But let's see what Jamie will do. Okay, they take the pawn. Now let's jump in with our knight. So the immediate threat is check. They can go here, and then we'll play this. They can also play this move, but then we just take the pawn.
Three attackers, and we've got currently 1, 2 defenders. However, we've got a check here. Now with the check, how does that look for us? Because they can't, I think that might be a mistake, but I know obviously they can just protect, and we can't take because their bishop is here. Now we also eliminate one of their attackers with the queen, so we might just be good just to pop back here now, because obviously we're getting attacked. Can't allow that.
And a lot of people will give this check without even really thinking, but it's a bad check. They should not go for that, because of course they can go check. Here it is. We can just play bishop here, and now they think that they can, you know, I don't know, maybe protect this square, but in reality they just can't. And now my knight's going to come to d3, and it's not going to be fun for Jamie. Yeah, so they go there, and now we just give a check, I believe. They're going to try and hold on to the pawn, of course, but we go check, and then we're just going to play like e4.
And it looks quite interesting so far. So they give me a check, which is, yeah, I thought that might come in, but we can just sidestep it, which isn't too bad. Now, if they want to sort of, they may just try and lock it in, which makes sense. But what I can do here is push a pawn, and we've still got enough protection here. So now I can take the pawn, but taking that pawn just seems really risky, I think. Although also it kind of, so I think here it'd just be safe to probably push on, take, and then get the knight involved. Have they got any moves here? I can't see anything there, so we're just going to try and get out of this situation.
E4. Now the knight's just cemented in there. Their king is not really all that safe. We even maybe have ideas of jumping the knight in here. Of course, they can take a pawn if they want, but really that's like the least of my worries right now. Yeah, so they're trying to undermine, which makes total sense. So if I were to go here, takes, they can capture. And this is going to be under attack, but we can always retreat to this square. So I don't think I'm really that afraid. Can also maybe just go here, try to get this move in. I could also jump back, attacking the knight, or attacking the queen. There's all kinds of ideas here. Their king is going to be very, very vulnerable. Takes. Pawn takes, opens up this check, I guess. It's a little bit difficult to play, to be honest. Maybe we drop back, protect the center, and then just develop normally. I think this is very logical. Of course we want to be able to put the knight on that square, but I think we should just retreat at the moment. Because now, I mean, like, we've done our job. Like, yes, the knight's very nice here, but there's all kinds of tactics brewing there, but we've made them create some weakness. And their king's stuck in the center now, and this knight's going to have a hard time developing.
Wow, so they come back, hit my queen again. Now, that's actually a good move because they've done their damage. They've done their damage coming in and stopping me from castling. So if I just go all the way back, that might make sense. Or maybe c2. If I go c2, they can come in and hit me, but it's nicely defended. Yeah, I think we're just going to drop back. I think that makes absolute sense. I think I'd be stupid not to. So we're coming back to c2. Now, still got the situation here, which is really quite the tension. I can feel it. Now, if we take, they got a pawn. They got two knights looking at it. We've got the queen. We've got a knight and we've got a bishop. So they could even get the queen out as well and then castle. And if they castle, they are looking very, very nice indeed.
That's what we're going to do. They drop back, of course. Now we do have tactics here. Takes. And then going check. So I think I can just take. Knight takes. We go check. And they can't block in any great way. I guess I can go here, but then we would just take. So let's go ahead and capture our pawn back. And of course, if they don't take, we're going to take and then just play like check. Opening up our queen. And time is equal. So we're both doing well on the clock, which is nice. Also, if they do decide to go for stuff like this, after the bishop comes out and we castle, we're going to have an open F file, which is always nice.
I'm inclined to get rid of that. I mean, with both their knights in my face, it just looks disgustingly horrible for me. I'm trying to, have they got something here? I mean, if I take, they come in, they hit my queen. If I take back, it just, so let's try and figure this one out. Okay, so we're going to take, they're going to come in and hit my queen. We can push them away. Queen can come in, take stuff. So we're just going to go for that. I can't see any major threat or Rooney. Hang on a second. Right, I missed that check. I missed it. Now, if I jump back here, E1, is that my best square? I mean, obviously that looks terribly scary with my queen in front of the king. And I just don't like that at all. That looks mighty scary. Mighty scary. So maybe it's not though. That comes in. We can push forward. They're going to take this though. And then all of a sudden, they might be able to say even, I don't know. I just think I think that's even worse. So I think he wants worse because we get checked straight away and then we're doomed.
Yeah, so they go for this. Let's give a check. And now depending on where the king goes, we might just jump the knight back in. Like if we can put the knight in here with a check, we'll probably do that. Because then I'll be able to take, and if takes, it's held, and we can just take. Judging off of Jamie taking time here, it doesn't seem like he expected this move. Oh, here, we just autoplay this. This is the only other square. And I mean, there could be potential. Yeah, he has to go there. Now let's take the knight back. And long castles might be like pretty good here. The king is just not safe. And now we can maybe even jump in, threatening a fork. Depending on what happens. I mean, this would be probably a good move, but then we have this square always. Positionally, I think his position is just lost. The bishop's very, very bad. He would have to invest a move like this. And even like, yeah, it's just quite ugly.
This coming in, knight coming in, and then coming in here for a check wins the rook, but it just puts me in a horrible, horrible position. So can we try and do something about this is the question, because we are in a bit of trouble here. Now, can we just take hitting the queen? I think that's probably a no-brainer. I can't see why we can't do that. Let me just make sure if we take, they can hit, we do this, and then say they sack, we take back. I think we're okay. We're going to take.
Yeah, he takes. But I can just capture. He can't take because the knight holds it. And the knight can even just go here. But I'll probably just long castle. Honestly, just be positionally very nice. Safe king. Maybe we want to put the bishop here instead with some mating ideas. And now we've gained a huge time advantage now. Also, we have check. And he would have to block. Wait. No. He can go here. So if the knight moves, which it just can't move, it can go here, I guess. That's ugly.
If they push out, if they move this, and we can just check, take, and then we might be safe. They really want to get this in, don't they? I don't want to allow them to castle. I'm half tempted. They may just go back with their bishop just to protect it. I've gotten myself out of sticky situations before, so now if I come in, yeah, what about we just push? No, that's really bad. We just lose the queen potentially. I mean, right, we know knight's coming in. Is that the best move? It stops a check. I think it might be. This looks ludicrous, guys. It looks ludicrous. And those checks, watch out for them checks. Otherwise, you end up in these kind of positions. Wow.
So there's all sorts of problems arising. Okay, the knight moves, but yeah, now I have check and checkmate. So he needed to realize that that check was actually very, very devastating. And now, yeah, let's go ahead and give a check.
Okay, so this could be very, 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 very near the end. Now, if I go here, we're getting checked. Then if I go here, we're getting checked again. We can maybe get out of this. Come in here. Right, there's a check. Oh my god, that's just mate. Just mate. Wow, what can I say? It got well and truly apex there, so we go again.
Yeah, and good game. All right, we have the white pieces. Now he knows that I play the Vienna. So he's going to go into probably the main line here, but I'm going to play d4 rather than the Vienna gambit.
I know they like a bit of the Vienna. What are they going to play this time? Okay, so I can, if I take and they push, I'm gonna take. Right, okay, now I'm gonna develop. hitting the queen. So they're going to go back. Now, I think here I'm fine just to develop some more. It's absolutely fine. And maybe this game we're going to castle.
So after takes, we just take back. He's going to develop, and we're going to play queen to d3. Takes here. And yeah, we just simply slide back. And now, in some games that I've played in the past, I have blundered in this position with like bishop d2. Seems very natural, but yeah, knight here is not good. They develop the bishop, and now we got to figure out what we want to do. So I know f3, knight e2, these are all ideas. We don't really want to develop here, and we want to make sure that this is never going to really be a huge threat. I could play here. Maybe we develop our bishop. There's never any threats of takes and winning the pawn, so I think that could be decent. But we could also play like f3 that also stops any knight moves coming in attacking this pawn. So knight here, does he have this? No, because we can just take that, and if check, we can always go queen here. So let's go play f3.
They can't push, right? Okay, so they're prepping to maybe just push their pawns. They've got a really interesting pawn situation at the moment. So I think castling just makes sense. We're going to castle.
Or maybe even pinning was better to start, but I'm 100% sure. I'm going to play knight e2, knight here. We always have to calculate this. I think I can just play like queen back. I really want to go here too. Let's actually just develop our bishop and play into long castle.
So I'm assuming bishop g5 and then castles. Do we put some pressure on the queen? Okay, that comes in. So pressure the queen, and then what? It's just tough. I mean, I think either way, they just... If I do this, they can take, and I take, and then lose the queen. So that doesn't quite work out. Hitting the queen, they just drop back. What about in here? Is that really... I know computer would probably say to me right now, pressure the queen, pressure the queen. It loves the pressure on the queen. I think I should do that. I'm just wondering whether or not e5 is better or b4. B4 gets it into a bit more of a better situation, better position. It's a bit more advanced. But this is, I don't know, could it easily get pushed at some point and then I'm dancing back again? It might just be a wasted move. I think maybe just try and unleash the bishop. Bishop doesn't really have much scope at the moment. I think if we ask the question and they go back, they go here. So we're going to hit the queen and we're going to go this way. I just think it's a, we're going to go for it. Now, this coming in at some point, once they've dealt with their queen situation, they will have two attackers on here. So that's not great for me.
Okay, knight there. What is the idea? What if I just go here? Is his plan to go here? That seems kind of ugly. Here, maybe we develop the bishop too. I mean, oh, wait. No. The knight is protecting that square, you dummy. You buffoon. I guess I can go queen here. Attack the bishop, they can protect. Yeah, let's go queen b5. And now the queen can always go this way, potentially. There might be tactics in the future. Not right now, obviously, but... Yeah, and this is still on the table to put more pressure. This could be a threat, too. If they just protect, maybe we go knight here. No, because the pawn's also protecting this. We need to get our knight into the game, I believe.
Can't push. They're attacking my bishop. So if I jump in here, I'm instantly getting attacked. Then I maybe come out here. I just think that's probably not a bad move. Let's just work this out. So if I come in and they jump in here and I push forward, And then they've got a fork. They've got a fork. So I think here maybe it's best just to drop this back. I might just have to come back. It's a little bit annoying, but you know, these things happen. Now we're going to come back and we're probably going to get met with this, which is not the end of the world. I mean, if they take, we take, and we're okay, it's fine. It's worse things have happened, but I think we need to deal with this queen situation because the queen's right up in our face.
Yeah, so he just slides back immediately, but I think I can already just slide in. But then there's a fork. So let's not do that. Down, down, down. Maybe we just develop our knight. And then maybe just castles. Seems pretty good. Here, I mean, if they ever kick us away, we can always just go back. So let's develop our knight. We want to stay somewhat close to equal on the clock. Preferably slightly ahead. Is this a move, actually? Hold up. Did I just have F4 and then E5? Yeah, what am I doing? We just have F4, E5.
I'm going to move this forward. Why this, you may ask. And that is because I want my queen to be able to get into the game. I also want my bishop to have a nice square to go back to, if needs be. It also protects the knight coming in. So, okay, now they are lining up with the F7 square. Are we bothered? Maybe at some point, but for the time being, could even offer a trade. They take, and then we kind of open up this rook. But then I don't think they'd be so bothered about castling. So maybe just thinking about how to get this bishop out, light square bishop. How do we do it? Or do we ask the question now? I'm going to maybe ask once, but they just go back. Is it that bad? Bearing in mind, actually, if they push, this is kind of trapped, isn't it? So I think we're just going to... It's not trapped. We can come back here. Is that the best move? Is that a good move, though? Right, so if we come back in here, I just think that's not a bad idea. We're going to come back. No, we're not. We're going to attack. We're going to attack. We're going to attack. See what they want to do.
I wonder if he sees it. He might see it. I mean, F4 is a pretty logical looking move. It's tempo on the knight. And the knight has no squares. I guess I can go to G4. Is that a problem? Not at the moment. He's spending time, so I think he does see the threat here. But now if he plays H6... Okay, yeah, I don't think we can play here anymore. But I can probably take, and if queen takes, we go here. The knight moves, and then we still have this. Knight takes. Okay, but is my king getting stuck in the center of the board is the only other question. So takes, queen takes. We play F4. The knight's got to retreat. It could come forward. And with the queen on this diagonal, or this file, it might actually be bad. Because if I go here, takes, there would be check. So maybe we take here and then just castle. Here, takes. Not good. Let's see. Is there any attack? Takes, knight moves. No, there's absolutely no attack there. Let's just take and castle. We didn't have to take. But after I castled, then F4 is a threat. So I like that. Let's castle.
We take with the queen, yep. Now they castled. Right. Again, I think it's probably within my interest to be careful now because the queen's only protecting this and the rook is now looking at it. So I've got to be careful, either that or just come back a little bit. But I quite like this diagonal just because there's a potential check. Queen can maybe get involved as well. I think coming back might just make a bit of sense. I know, man, just let's do this. Come on, why not? let's just drop back. If needs be, knight can come back to g6. And if the knight comes back, maybe we can give a little check. It can take potentially. Or maybe even bishop comes out this way. b6. Chills in there. It'd be nice if I had a pawn to back that up.
If the knight comes in, there's a forking idea. So maybe I can go h3, f4, then g4. Let's go ahead and do that. We also have ideas of jumping the knight in this way. Knight here, bishop comes out potentially. Lots of ideas. They can strike in the center, but that just loses a pawn because we control this square many times. 1, 2, 3, 4 to be exact.
I've got to be careful with this pawn. I'm going to do this first, just because it also protects this this pawn. If I want to move this bishop, ideas of moving the bishop, not too sure yet. Very cagey. I mean, they can't come in because of this pawn. So this pawn is really solid on c6. If they want to come in this way, where can they go to from there? A check's pretty pointless. I mean, they just move over, and it doesn't do us any good. I'm half expecting a pawn push. I actually think a really solid move here would probably be trying to trap my knight.
Okay, he goes onto this diagonal. So there's obviously a check here. But if he gets the check, who cares? I can just move the king. And I feel like he should have been looking to push the pawns, because in opposite side castling positions, that's typically what you try to do. And now where does the knight actually go? It goes here. But then I can tempo the queen. And I'm just starting to like run into the position. Ah, but if I go here, there's check to pick up the pawn. I see the idea now. It's a good little tactic by him. Maybe I just jump the knight in. Looking for good squares. I could also just play king b1. Probably a useful move regardless. Let's just improve the king. If he goes here, I mean, maybe knight here. If takes, then we would take. It jumps back. So I need to improve this and get my bishop out. That is what I need to do. Let's start with maybe knight here.
I want to watch out for the pawn pushes and see how they want to go from here. I mean, I see why they just don't want to be checked at all. I get that. That's logical. But I don't really have anything to back it up, and all they've got to do is move out the way potentially and then just take it. So I don't think that's the right time. Okay, now this is interesting. So are they looking to jump in here, potentially hit the queen? Maybe. If they want to come in here, maybe we just prevent that for the time being. Got to be careful as well, because knight h5 gets them very close with the queen as well. Still looking here, the queen's not moved at all. Queen is chilling. I can't move this pawn, otherwise this bishop hangs. It might be worthwhile. Okay, cool. So we expected that. Now obviously can't go here, get taken. We can just drop back. I think that's absolutely solid. I want to stay here. I want to stay here and in line with this pawn, which they can now double up on actually.
This pawn's going to be weak as well if he... Yeah. Can I start pushing my pawns now? Or do I just develop? I would argue probably just develop. Let's just develop our piece. And yeah, now we have our rooks connected, which I'm happy about. I definitely don't think this was played the most accurate way. Also, notice that this is a threat. Okay, they go there. It's a little bit annoying. I could just go here. It's kind of dumb because I just moved the bishop here, but okay. I was threatening to play this and then take the knight potentially.
Do we just want to get that off the board? We attack, takes. takes. We just lose out on the exchange. I'm just going to take this moment to centralize. So they take, I take with the queen, takes back. Right, let's go for it. If they want to take, we'll take with the queen. If queen takes, rook takes. And the rook still looks after this pawn. Can either defend it like so.
Looking at stuff like this, but just takes. Maybe I just start to reroute the knight now. You can never push. Can he? Knight here, push, takes. Bishop takes. I have knight here. Let's reroute the knight this way. Takes. Takes. Okay. He's getting his pieces active. It's very scary. Could take. But I can also go here. So there's never any tactics. Let's jump in here. If he takes, I'll take back.
Time to get this bishop back into the, sorry, the knight back in the game. Okay, we're just going to say goodbye to that, are we? I wanted to jump in here. Okay, running out on time, so we're going to have to step it up a little bit here. Now they're going to take, we're going to take, watching out for that knight. Blimming knights.
Knight jumps in. Okay, I got to take. But he has to take with the pawn now. Which weakens the king. This could be a good square at some point. I'm going to push my pawn. This is protected.
Okay, what about we attack? I have to go back. Now, that's not a free pawn because queen defends, but maybe we can start trying to push forward a little bit. That's what we do. Okay.
We don't want to blunder this pawn, but he can start to put pressure on it. Maybe we want to play h4. There's that move. Okay, let's capture. Takes, so he can move, attacking my knight. Okay, so he's threatening to take. Let's jump here, try to go to this square. He can take. I'll just take back. He can take the pawn. No. Takes here. He drops back. There's a threat.
We try and push. They just kind of go back. So maybe just jump in here for the time being. Do I need to be wary of anything? Yes, this knight is still causing us all sorts of pain. Okay, so they go back. Now I think we're going to try and... I want to just stay in here. No, I don't. Stay here. Now, rook's going to come in. Hang on a minute. Yeah, we're not having that. We can't allow that. So let's just jump in here and try and...
Queen here threatening. This is what I'm looking at. Also threatening rook e1. Just gets out of the way. Let's go onto this file. This is a huge threat. King here. He's offering a trade. We don't really want trades. Let's attack here. He's just protecting. Let's now play c4. It says time scramble. Time scramble time. I'm going to slide back one square.
Oh my god, I've just hung my queen. Just hung my queen. This blimming game. Blimming game.
Trying to play rook e1. That is a free queen. So, unfortunately, he has blundered in the time pressure. We're going to go here, offer a trade. We'll happily take. And that is a check here.
Yeah, I think here we are just doomed. Gotta come back. We keep fighting, guys. We keep going. We keep going, guys. Gotta keep going. You never know.
We just need to play quick now. Check. Takes. Here. We just need to move. Let's just sacrifice. And he can't stop the pawns. GG!
Can't even get in that way. A bit of fun antics at the end, guys.
That was a close one in the time scramble. He might have he might have actually had some winning chances there, but unfortunately for him, we were able to flag him, and yeah, we're going to take a look at those. GG, Jamie. All right, let's hop into this analysis. And so the first game was a little bit unfortunate because I pretty much just got him with opening prep. Now, I mean, at this level, opening prep is important, so I was just a little bit more familiar with this opening. However, I do know Jamie never really used to play like this. He always played like an immediate e4 here rather than g3. He'd play like this and try to go for some like stonewall kind of setup. So maybe he's trying out some new stuff with the English. I'm not really sure. However, if you're watching this, Jamie, the downfall was this move e3. Now it says book, but you have to be prepared against d5 and know what to do against, knight b4. Obviously, this is all book, but, there's just so many, the check is very, very natural. I think the correct move is to play like d3, and we'll look. Yeah, the only move to keep an advantage is d3, and the point of d3 is you're saying, hey, take the pawn back. I'm not going to allow your knight here. And I guarantee you now that Jamie has, played this check and allowed the knight to get this to the square, he's not going to do it next time, which is great because that's how you learn at chess, right? You play, you do something, and then you learn from losing. And yeah, already on move 7, it's +2 because after, apparently b5 is a little bit more accurate. The point being, if takes, you go here now, and the queen is just like kind of stuck. You can fork, but regardless, we just go here, and then they slide back. We get the check, and we play e4. The king is vulnerable. We have secured the knight in the center, and of course f3. I mean, yeah, you have to be a little bit accurate here, right? The computer's saying here, but takes, and you gotta know some stuff. I mean, I would probably play this, but the best move in that position was actually to play knight c5 now. So you're prompting them to take, and then you move the knight. Instead, I go here, and then they move, and we find the brilliant knight sacrifice. With what happened in the game, we just improve the bishop while also picking up the piece back, and then, we're going to probably be able to get our king safe really quickly. But, yeah, we take, they take, we take, and, yeah, you can't move the knight here. You gotta address the issue, which is this check and checkmate threat. So you can't move the knight. But, what do you even do? The computer is saying the best move is to play d4 or play g4. You need to stop this diagonal. For one, I don't really know, or not move the knight, I guess. d4, if check, then maybe you're making some room. No, I don't know. It's bad. It's bad. I would just not go into this line personally. And yeah, unfortunately, or fortunately for us, we got the checkmate. And if you're wondering the accuracy, I played with a 96 in that first game, and he played with like a 68 or something like that. The second game was much, much closer. I was playing an opening that I'm not super duper prepared in. I'm relatively new to this opening. I've played it less than 10 times. So we got e4, and yeah, I'm typically an f4 kind of player, but I've been experimenting with d4 lately because everyone's prepared with d5. So d4 takes, and it's, you know, a position. We slide back. They develop their bishop. They can either go bishop here, or bishop here. If you watched me play Volts, he ended up playing bishop e7, which was very, very passive. We go f3. The reason why I played f3 is I always wanted to protect the pawn. And I know the basic idea of this opening is to play like knight here, get the bishop out, castle. And then maybe play like g4, h4. So I thought, you know, let's just go f3 right away, but we should leave access for the queen, potentially. Instead, we do this, and then we bring out our bishop, and they jump in. And we should just slide backwards. We go forward. I didn't think this was that bad, but they should just protect using the pawn. There was no need to put the bishop here. It was very passive. That's what the computer is saying. Because you want to be able to open up the bishop quickly and strike in the center at the same time. And we already have f4. I guess that's the other point. I thought that, you know, this was pretty crushing if you get this on the board. But apparently you can go like c6, queen d3, bishop c7. Are we not just taking a piece? Yeah, we are. Yeah, so that was a huge missed opportunity. And we could have just castled here. That is insanity. What is the point? Oh, the point's that the rook is, or the bishop's also attacked. I missed that. And then here it wanted f4 again. Was this the spot? I don't know. Queen h4 check. Yeah, there's always checking possibilities. g3. Knight f3 check. Would have been ugly. Regardless, didn't happen. We got this on the board, and then I go h3. I thought this was fine. Knight should have went back, and then now it does. And then we jump our knight in, and we tempo the queen. And it didn't like me developing. I thought developing seemed very natural. It also comes with an immediate threat of pushing the pawn to take here due to the pin, but they always have like bishop here anyways, I guess. And then we got this. It really just wants you to push the pawn. And then we jump in, which is a blunder if they take. But I thought we just took back. Bishop takes. And then queen takes. Queen g5. Knight d3, and they pick up the pawn. Okay. So, yeah, you have to kind of see that. And then here we could have took with the knight. I don't know why I didn't actually. But we got this position, then we start pushing pawns. Knight back, I reroute my knight here. We should have went this way to maybe go here and not allow them to take, but I didn't really like this bishop, so I was fine trading it off, but yeah. Takes, knight back, and we can already start striking because this is pinned. But I was kind of afraid of some back rank stuff, but I guess playing c4 also protects that. And then we could have played h4, and he's starting to get low on time here. And he pushes through, it's still equal. And then he blunders his queen. And this is just a time scramble. It's 30 seconds each. So I'm trying to simplify because that's what you should do when you're up so much material. We just check, take some pawns. And the sacrifice that we went for is actually not bad. But in this position, after the king takes the pawn, you have to play, you know, something like this. I guess you can go here as well. But yeah, he missed an opportunity to play king here, and he's going to get the king to this square. So it's going to start lagging, but I guess he doesn't have that. He has to play g3 here, and then he goes king h1, and if I push, g2, I can promote, but he promotes with check. And unfortunately, he let me get my king in front, and we stopped the pawn, and his king can't stop 2 pawns. Plus, I'm going to win his, so I got lucky in the end, but it was a very interesting and fun game. So thank you, Jamie, for the games, and if you have not checked out his channel, there will be a link to his channel in the description as per usual. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe.